joined by Animal Control Officer, Mr. Chris Bussey. Chris, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me, Alton.
Well, Chris, you know what? I know that over the last week, you guys have been really busy with some things going on in our community. We'll talk a little bit about that momentarily. But first of all, this is my first time having you on the show. So if I'm speaking correctly, I think it is the first time.
It is the first time I've been on the show, and thank you for having us.
Well, Chris,
having me.
Yeah, no problem. Tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
I've worked for LaGrange Animal Shelter now for the past 12 years. I became a supervisor roughly 5 or 6 years ago, and we're doing great things out at the shelter.
Very good. Now, and you know, a lot of people say out at the shelter, and of course you go there every day. Tell us where you guys are located, if you don't mind.
The animal shelter is located at 1390 Orchard Hill Road here in LaGrange, Georgia. It's in the industrial park off of Whitesville Road in Lucan Industrial.
Okay. What's your hours of operations, Chris?
We're open Monday through Friday, 10 to 5, and then Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Okay. All right. Now, how many, because I remember when it was being built out there, and I'm kind of sadly to say I haven't been out there quite a lot, but what's your capacity? How many animals can you guys maintain at any given time?
We have 49 dog runs and 28 cat cages. The dog runs can hold roughly 80 to 100 animals, depending on the size, and if there's litter of puppies involved, and we have 28 cat cages.
Oh, okay.
So it just depends on how many animals are in a litter of animals or what comes in through the door throughout the day.
Oh, okay. What's your average stay time, you think, for an animal that is brought there or that you all pick up?
A stray hold, we have a stray hold of 96 hours to give the owner time to find the animal. Then after that 96 hours, the animal's placed up for adoption, and then we begin looking for rescues for animals also at that time, so we can help control our pet population at the shelter.
Oh, okay. All right. So 96-hour hold time, and then say, for example, you guys have picked up one and the owner comes back to reclaim it. Is there a fee or charge for them to reclaim the animal?
Yes, sir. The first time the animal's picked up, the redemption fee is $28. And that includes a voucher to help pay for a rabies shot. And every time after that the animal's picked up, the fee increases by $20 each time.
Oh, okay, okay. And again, you said it a moment ago, and this is all done to kind of help control the pet population, correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay. And cats, I guess, the same way. And now, after the 96 hours, that animal becomes adoptable via the general public, correct?
Yes, sir. It becomes available for adoption then.
And the fees for that, for adoption?
The fees for a dog or a puppy are up to $75, and that includes vouchers to help pay for the animal to be spayed or neutered and current on all vaccines and a microchip. And then cats and kittens are up to $50, and it includes the spay, neuter, and the shots also. Oh,
okay, okay. So you guys kind of give them a clean bill of health when you send them out the doors.
Yes, sir. They get to go to a veterinarian with that voucher. The citizen actually pays for that visit. The city in turn gets the bill, and we pay for the vet visit.
Okay, now I understand. All right, well, very good. And let me ask you, Chris, because you said you've been with the city of LaGrange 12 years. Why is it that you do this job? What is your motivation for doing this?
I just love helping the animals and helping them find their forever home and helping people find their forever pet and help the stray animals we have here in the community.
Okay, very good. And Chris, I'm just going to pull it out because I know that you're very modest, and you're not going to brag about yourself. But I understand that it was maybe a year or so ago you invited some of the Atlanta Humane Society to come down to conduct some classes. Talk a little bit about that for us, if you don't mind.
Yes, we had Atlanta Humane come down, and they taught a class on animal hoarding and dog fighting investigations. Seems there's been a lot of that going on in Troup County and the city of LaGrange between the hoarding cases and dog fighting over the past year or two.
Okay. And you say it seems like there's been a lot of it reported here, and you guys have been directly involved in some of those, I guess, incidents?
Yes, sir. We've been directly involved with all the incidents. We housed all the animals for the city of LaGrange, Troup County Marshals, and the city of Hogansville Animal Control. So all the animals come to our shelter at some point once they're picked up.
Oh, okay. And people need to realize that it's against the law, number one, and people can be arrested and also fined, I'm going to assume, correct?
Yes, sir. They can be issued tickets or be arrested depending on the severity of the crime that's involved.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes, Chris, I know that you all have some, not only with like the dog fighting and all the various other fightings and stuff, you all have some unfortunate situations where people maintain more animals than they can, have more animals than they can adequately serve. Talk a little bit about that, and I think some recent events that have happened in our community.
Yeah, it's a sad situation. Hoarding is a mental disease where they take in too many animals they think they can care for, and they really can't. It's not only dangerous to the animals living in that condition, but the person also, because they're breathing in the animal feces waste that they're using inside the house and not cleaning up after themselves, and all the trash they don't pick up after themselves and everything.
And unfortunately, I know that recently you all had a number of animals that you all had to take and collect and bring to the shelter. Talk a little bit about how those animals are, what the status of those animals are.
We took in roughly 30 bull mastiff mixed breed dogs last week. So far, we've had 11 adoptions with the puppies and 2 adults. We just sent 5 animals this morning down to Auburn University to be spayed or neutered, and then have their shots current. When they come back, they'll be placed up for adoption. And we're still working with other rescues across the United States, trying to find some of the other dogs' homes just to help, because some of the dogs have trust issues with people just based on them and their conditions they were living at the house or outside on a chain.
And again, I'm not a big puppy or dog fan. I remember when my son came to me and said, "Well, Dad, can we have a dog?" I said no immediately, because I know that it requires attention. And at that time, I was trying to devote attention to them, and because I know that you have to feed them, you need to clean them, you need to make sure you take them to the vet, and all those various other things. So I told him at the time that no, they couldn't have one. So he waited till he became an adult, and he's got 2 house dogs, so that's on him now.
That's right.
But animals can be a very good companion. Talk about the companionship that you've seen with people when they come out, and how they kind of immediately gravitate to one of the animals there.
It just depends on which animal the person's looking for, whether it's a dog or a cat, but it helps people emotionally if they have some stress going on in their life where they just need support, where they can just come out and play with the animal for a little bit. They're always more than welcome to come out and volunteer with the LaGrange County Humane Society and help them volunteer. They walk their animals throughout the day, and they have play groups where they have several groups of animals that go in our exercise yard, and they play together for about 30 minutes to an hour, and they bring out another group. And the Humane Society is real good about having the play groups out where all the dogs at the shelter get exercise and play with each other. But the public's more than welcome to come out and participate in the play groups with the animals that we have at the shelter and help relieve some stress or just play with some animals.
Okay, play groups, you call them.
Yes, sir. That's what they're called.
So now you guys have, I guess, when you come out, do they have to sign a waiver or something like that? I'm going to assume, correct?
Yes, sir. They'll sign a waiver with the LaGrange County Humane Society.
Okay.
They'll do a volunteer orientation, and they'll learn the do's and the don'ts of the animal shelter.
Okay.
And how to walk a dog on a leash properly, and how to feed and water them if they want to do that also.
Oh, okay. Well, very good. And you're talking about this, coming out and everything. You do have, I know that we've had some animals that have been featured here lately. Talk a little bit about that if you don't mind.
Yes, sir. We have several dogs and cats at the animal shelter we've had for a while now that's already had their shots, microchipped and spayed or neutered. Due to our space issues at the shelter because of the hoarding case, we've talked with the city officials, and we've decided to waive the adoption fee for these animals, and hopefully they can all find their forever home within a week to help open up space, because the flow of animals is always coming into the shelter. From just this past Monday till today, we've taken in close to 70 animals, 40 on Monday and 30 yesterday, whether it's dogs or cats and puppies and kittens. The flow of animals seems to always be coming to our shelter.
And again, the best thing that a citizen can do is have them spayed or neutered so that the population doesn't continue and becomes a problem for you, correct?
It does become a population, but with all the animals that come in, we do work with various rescue groups across the United States. Puppy Pipeline is a main one we use, that we ship animals to no-kill shelters across the United States. We actually have a transport going out tonight. They're going to Parma, Ohio, and they're taking close to 60 animals. It's going to be a combination of cats, dogs, kittens, and puppies that have been at the shelter for a while. And that rescue group also takes in animals that have medical conditions that we can't treat here in LaGrange, as far as like heartworms or major issues like that, or disabilities with animals. But they help treat them, and they'll reach out and find the animal a forever home once they reach up to their destination shelter.
Okay. And again, Puppy Pipeline is one way that you all kind of outsource some of the I'm going to call it stock, but some of the puppies that you all and cats that you all have there. And I know that during this time, puppy season too, I think plays in that. There's sometimes you guys have needs there at the shelter. Talk a little bit about how the citizens of our community can get involved with that. The
citizens of LaGrange can get involved by just coming out into the shelter and donating puppy food, cat litter, puppy formula, whatever they think they want to donate to the shelter, we can definitely use. We also use old towels and blankets to help clean the cages, and then we also give the mother dogs and their nursing puppies a a towel to put on their bed also, to just help with a little more comfort, besides just laying on the bed we have at the shelter for them.
Oh, okay. So you've had animals that actually give birth to puppies while they're there?
Yes, sir. I think right now we have 2 or 3 pregnant dogs at the shelter and a couple pregnant cats. So every morning it's a surprise when we come in. We might come into 12 more puppies we didn't know about till the next morning.
Population overnight growth, right?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Now, Chris, I know that you're very passionate about this, but you don't do it alone. Talk about your staff that you have working with you.
We have a good staff. David Mixon, Natalie Johnson, and Dakota Davis. They're all dedicated. Due to the hoarding situation that we've had and the population of animals, we've been coming in at 7 o'clock in the morning instead of our normal 8 o'clock start time to help clean and try to make the shelter presentable by 10 o'clock. Just because of the amount of animals we have, our cleaning time is taking a little longer than normal right now. And we still answer calls for service while we're cleaning also. So one of us might leave while they're still cleaning to answer a call for a loose dog or something.
Oh, okay. And I know, just like Mark was saying a moment ago, volunteerism is so important. Is there an opportunity other than the Humane Society that someone could come out and volunteer with you all?
We volunteer just through the Humane Society because they do have to sign that waiver of liability, and the Humane Society has more manpower where they can do the volunteer orientation versus us. We're a 4-person department where we're doing the calls for service and cleaning and doing adoptions and redemptions all at the same time.
So you're busy.
You learn how to multitask real quick and go back to the original task later on.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, I want to just say thank you for coming on the show today. And you know, I'm sure it's a tough job, but I feel like the right person is on the job.
Oh, thank you.
I can tell that you're very passionate about what you do. I hear you come into the office, talk with my folks and stuff. And, you know, unfortunately, the situation that happened a week or so ago where you all did have to take in a number, but I'm very happy that the outcome is what it is for those animals.
Yes, sir.
So, Chris, I want to thank you very much for coming on the show
thank
today.
you for having me.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Week in just a moment.